Now that we have the name and an understanding of what you're going to call this activity, we've set the intention of what your learning intention is. Next, we're going to move on to the resources required. When we set up our resources, we're going to go through a couple of good examples and a not so good example on how to list out your resources. We want to be specific when we list out our resources. We also might want to include the location of those resources. If we need to get those resources from an outside source, do they need to be ordered? Is this a activity plan for the future? It could just be ensuring that you have the materials when you're looking at the resources required. This helps organize all of the materials. And again, it also helps other people follow the plan that you are setting up. The why for the resources is knowing what you need and ensuring you have those materials, or do those materials need to be ordered. Collecting the materials will be easier and faster if you don't have to think about it. If you have all of your activities planned for the week and you then know where you need to get those materials, or you can even collect those materials in advance and have them in a basket either the day before or the week before. I also like to keep, if I'm doing a theme, keeping boxes, and inside that box has activity plans for those different themes. That can also be very helpful. So collecting all those materials in advance, so when you come in the morning, everything is ready to go. It will also support others in recreating the activity, or if you need to ask for help, you can hand the activity plan to someone and say, hey, could you please go grab all these resources from wherever the resources are kept? Do you need to go to the art cabinet? Do you need to go to the cooking cabinet? Or is there some other location that you're going to be needing to get resources from? Or if you're out and you have a well-planned activity plan, if you're not going to be in that day or something tragic happens, the train stops, you're not on time, and you know this is a morning activity, you can let whoever know who is covering for you, hey, I've got this activity planned. Everything is written out. Everything has been gathered in advance, or there is a detailed list of where you can find things. That can also be very helpful when creating an activity plan and kind of like covering up for yourself a just in case kind of moment. It's always great to be prepared in that way. So this is actually an example of an activity plan resources required for an infant activity. So we are going to go through all of the aspects of this infant activity, and it's a speaker or audio device with a playlist of world music, instrumental tracks only. This could have the link put in there if the if the practitioner had a particular genre in mind, of if whether African beats or South African tango or South American tango music, that also could be in there. Light scarves or ribbons in vibrant colors, soft mats for babies to lay on or to sit on. And those are the resources that need to be gathered in advance. You might think, oh yeah, I've got scarves here, no problem. There have been a couple of times that I've gone thinking, oh, I have something. I go to open that drawer and realize somebody has borrowed them and I actually don't have them. And that's left me scurrying around in the morning. I really can't stress enough the idea of collecting your materials that you're going to need in advance to ensure that you have them, so you're not scrambling around in the morning. So here are two more examples. One is an acceptable example. It's rather basic. It's not exhaustive. It doesn't say where to find the things. The Bear Hunt book, yoga mats, blankets, and a quiet room. This is a yoga sequence based on the book Going on a Bear Hunt. What could have been and probably should have been included in this is the script for calling the yoga poses for the children. Really is a resource that is required. The bottom one, which is really not okay, is resources required: a PDF with pictures of feelings, paper to print, a printer, a laminator, a display, not necessary if coincided that the moment we are also using that the display about feelings. So it really is a little bit jumbled. This activity is about introducing the concept of faces and feelings to young children. And so this really could have just been said. The laminated emotion cards that are available and wherever they happen to be, unless they're currently posted on the wall. That's very simple of where you would be able to find these. If you were going to focus on a couple of different emotions, then you would just want to say the emotion cards for happy, sad, angry, and frustrated. That's really all that you would need to have for that. So even though this is an exhaustive list, it's telling you how to create the resources, not necessarily what the resources are, which is no bad thing. But when you're getting to this point of writing the activity plan, these resources really should already be prepared. You shouldn't be creating them as a part of your activity plan. Okay, final steps, and we're going to be going forward. We're going to be looking at how this activity is going to be set up and what preparations you're going to need to make to do this activity. So again, just to recap, is getting these resources outlined, written down, where you can find them, whether or not they need to be created. If it does need to be created, then put in parentheses needs to be created. That's a mental note for yourself. Oh, wait, I need to go and get those. If they're located somewhere else in the building, having that location can also be very helpful, especially if you're asking another adult to help you get set up. These are all the very beginning steps to ensure that your activities run very, very smoothly and will keep going.